Hi, this is the Best of Chess and I'm FIDE Master Bon Jovanovic. Today we will have a lesson about liquidation of defense for an easy level where I will explain what is liquidation of defense and why we use liquidation of defense. Liquidation of defense is destroying of some opponent's pieces or pawns which are protecting some important square, pawn or piece. And of course, we're using liquidation of defense to make that square, pawn or piece weaker. I will show you now that on this illustrative example. We're looking in this position from black perspective and black is on the move. And now we'll start with estimation of the position. We can see that black has queen, two rooks, bishop, knight and 7 pawns. And on the other side, white has queen, two rooks, two knights, and 8 pawns. So from material point of view, white is slightly better because of this additional pawn. And now we'll take a look in qualitative analysis, and we can see that king on c8 is safe here, and his position is good. Queen on c7 is somehow very passive, should be activated by playing queen a5 or queen b6, for instance. Rooks are very active. This rook on d8 is supporting this very strong knight on d4, which is centralized and creates many threats about bad geometry between white pieces. Also, this rook on d8 is fighting against this weak pawn on d3. Rook on g8 is controlling this half open g file and attacking this pawn, and at the same time is pinning this pawn for protection of this rook on g8. Bishop on e7 is somehow also very passive, but also can be activated by bishop c5 or bishop b4. On the other side, white has still this king in the center, which should be in castle and to be more protected than now. And also this king is creating bad geometry with this queen on d7. Rook on g1 is protecting this pawn on g2, and rook on a1 is still undeveloped. Knights does not have any clear purpose at the moment, but okay, they're defending this position of white very well, and this knight is threatening to change exchange for this knight on d4. And we already said that this in this position black is on the move, and we should try to find a way how to use this bad geometry between white king and white queen. And okay, we can see that only what is not allowing to us to do this is this pawn on g2, which is protecting this f3 square from where this knight can give a check and attack this queen on d2. And of course our plan is to eliminate or to deflect this pawn from g2, and then to use this weak square on f3. And we will use tactical element of liquidation of defense, and that we will achieve by playing rook g2. And now we can see that black is threatening to play knight f3, and okay, if white have to move this king, and the best move is castle long side. And after this move, knight f3, we can see that there is a double attack. This knight is attacking this queen on d2 and rook on g1. And okay, after let's say queen e3, knight g1, rook g1, rook g1, knight g1, black is much better because of material advantage before all. And instead of queen e3, in this position the best move is rook g2, but then again after knight d2, rook d2, black has material advantage, and black is better in this position. Now we'll go to see one more illustrative example, and then we will go to see a couple of practical examples. This is our second illustrative example, and okay, we will immediately start with estimation of the position. We can see that this black king on g8 is safe. Queen on a5 is half pinning this knight on c3 for protection of this queen on d2. Also, this rook on b8 is attacking this pawn on b2, which can be possibly very weak. Bishop on g7 is also creating a pressure on this long diagonal, and this bishop is very powerful. Knight on d7 is at the moment not centralized, but easily can be centralized by playing knight c5 or knight e5 in some cases. And okay, rook on f8 is developed, but somehow at the moment passive. On the other side, we can see that white king is also very safe on g1. Queen on d2 is misplaced because of this half pinning. Knight also. So okay, this rook on b1 is protecting this pawn at the moment. So this rook is very useful. Rook e1 is supporting this pawn on e4, and bishop d3 is very passive, supporting this pawn on e4 and protecting this pawn on c2. But okay, probably better position for this bishop will be on c4, and that can be maybe a plan for white how to continue this game. But in this position, black is on the move, and okay, we'll immediately try to use this pinning, half pinning actually, and also that black pieces are very active. And I will mention that the material is completely equal in this position. So what to play? We can see that if this pawn on b2 is not here, let's say this pawn is on b3, let's imagine that, and in that case black will play immediately bishop c3, and black will also, after taking this knight, then black will take also an rook on e1, because then this queen is attacked, and also this queen is half pinned for protection of this rook on e1. And okay, I will show you how we can achieve that by playing rook b1. And after this move, almost forced move is rook b2, and after this move, bishop c3, we are using this bad geometry between white pieces. And okay, we used this liquidation of defense to destroy this pawn on b2, and then we used this bad geometry between white pieces to win the material and eventually win a game. Let's go now for our first practical example for today. This is the position from our first practical example for today, and we're looking from white side, and white is on the move in this position. So let's start with our usual thinking process, and okay, first will be quantitative analyze, and we can see that white has queen, two rooks, bishop, and 6 pawns, and on the other side black has queen, two rooks, two bishops, knight, and 3 pawns. So black has bishop and knight for 3 pawns. So black has big material advantage in this position. And now we'll go to qualitative analyze, and we can see that this king on g1 is perfectly safe at the moment. Queen on h3 is creating a big threat of potentially playing queen h7 and creating some mating net around this king on g8, and also attacking these weak light squares around black king. Rook on f1 is participating in this attack on black king, and okay, rook on a1 is for the moment undeveloped, but can be easily developed on e1, and then this rook will be also part of this attack on black king. Bishop on b2 is at the moment useless about this attack on black king, but protecting this pawn on d4, and that is also one of the important things in this position. On the other side, black has very weak position of his king, and this pawn on g6 is actually very powerful because create many threats around this king. Queen on b8 is very passive. I don't want to mention that this rook on a7 is even more passive. Rook on d8 is very strong and attacking this d4 pawn. Bishop on b7 is very active and controlling this long diagonal a8 h1. Bishop on e7 is protecting this knight, and also this knight is doing amazing job by protecting this very important square on h7, and this is the last protector of black king. And okay, white should make some very forced line because he has big material deficit, and if white do not manage to make some big attack and mate of opponent king, or to return material, then white will be in a big trouble. So we will look at some very forced line, and we will use tactical element of liquidation of defense. And okay, we can see that this h7 square is critical, and this knight on f6 is protecting that square. So answer about candidate moves is very logical and very clear. And okay, that is a move, rook f6. Now we're threatening to give a mate on h7, and okay, if black takes this rook with pawn, then queen h7, king f8, queen f7 mate. So okay, gf6 is not possible. Only other way to protect from this mate on h7 is bishop f6, and after this move we can play now queen h7, king f8. Black king is trying to escape on queen's side, but white will play a move which will restrict his possibilities, and that is rook e1. And now again white is threatening to play queen h8 and to give a mate, and there is no way to stop this threat about queen h8, so only possibility for black is to try to somehow intercept this attack of this rook, and that will achieve by playing bishop e5. And after this bishop e5, queen h8 is giving a check to a black king, and after king e7 we can see there is a pinning of this bishop for protection of this king, and white can play without any consequences queen g7. And now king d6, queen e5, king d7. Position of black king is helpless, and this additional rook means nothing to black at this moment. And after queen f5 check, king c6, d5 check, there is possibility of playing king d6, but now after bishop e3, king c7, rook e7 check, rook d7, and queen d7 mate. Instead of king d6, black would play also king c5, but this will not change the result of the game. But okay, black will hold on for a moment. So let's see, king c4 after this check, and now queen e4. If king b5, then queen b4 mate, so king c3, and now bishop b4, king b2, queen e8 mate. So interesting way for black king to come into white camp and to be mated. So this was our first practical example for today. Let's go for our next example. Okay, this is our second practical example for today, and in this position we're looking from side of white, and white is on the move. And let's start with our usual thinking process in this position. We can see that white has queen, two rooks, two knights, and five pawns, and on the other side black has queen, two rooks, bishop, knight, and six pawns. So black is pawn up in this position, and okay, from material point of view black is slightly better at the moment. And okay, now we'll start with qualitative analyze, and we can see that white king on h1 is perfectly safe at the moment. Queen on h5 is creating some threats around this king on g8, so this queen is participating into attack on black king and is very active. Rook on d1 is at the moment does not do many things because this rook is restricted by this strong bishop on d4, which is protected by this pawn on c5. A rook on f1 is also doing very little in this position, and knights on d5 and on f5 are very powerful and creating many threats about using this bad geometry between rook and king, and also they're creating many threats about mating or sacrificing here around black king. On the other side we can see that this king on g8 is not so safe because of many active pieces of whites, and also okay, this queen on a8 is controlling this long diagonal, so we can see that this queen can be potentially very dangerous, and at the moment attacking this knight on d5. Also this rook is attacking this knight, and okay, this rook on c8 is at the moment misplaced but can be easily introduced in the game by playing, for instance, rook c6, rook e6. And okay, bishop on d4 is very strong. I already mentioned that because this bishop is centralized and controlling all the board, and knight on g6 is protecting this king on g8. And now we can see that also this bishop is protecting this king from d4. Now we should try to find some plan for white how to make some attack and how to compensate this deficit of pawn. And okay, first we will try to use this bad position of black king and also active position of white pieces. First candidate move can be knight from f to e7 to use this bad geometry between black king and black rook on c8. And okay, after this move black will play king h8, and after knight c8, queen c8, queen f3 to support this queen f3 to support this knight on d5, but this knight is somehow misplaced now on d5 and does not have any support except of the queen, so position is not so clear at the moment. Instead of knight from f to e7, white could play also knight from d to e7, and in this case black is also forced to play king h8, and after knight c8, queen c8, probably white is better because of the material, but anyway black can make some effort to maximally make difficult to white to realize this material advantage. But this is a good move, and it's possible to win the material on this way. Instead of this move, knight d e7, uh, white can try to use this activity of white queen and white knights and to try to make some mating attack. And we can see that this knight on g6 and this bishop on d4 is protecting this king, and we can try to neutralize and to use liquidation of defense by playing rook d4. Now this bishop, this strong bishop on d4 is not exist anymore, and okay, after cd4, which is quite logical move. Okay, instead of cd4, black could play also rook d5, but then rook d5, knight d5, and again we can see that there is some bad geometry between black king and black queen, and only protector of this square is this knight on g6. So white will use liquidation of defense by playing queen g6, and after hg6 then we're using this bad geometry, and after knight e7 check and attacking this queen on d5, and okay, after king f8 then knight d5, and white is completely winning. So okay, this move rook d5 is not so good. Instead of rook d5, black can play cd4 for instance, and after this move white will try to deflect this pawn from protection of h6 square. Knight f6 check. If black takes this knight on f6, then queen h6 and mate on g7 is almost unstoppable. So okay, after knight f6, black can play also king f8, and that is much better move. But after king f8, queen h7, again white is threatening to give a mate by playing queen g8, and now gf6 is forced. And now black is trying to escape again with his king on queen side, and white will stop that by playing rook e1. And again we have similar situation as in previous example, and we can see that the only way to protect black king from mate by queen g7 is to try to make interception of attack of this rook on e1, and that can be achieved by queen e4 or knight e5. If knight e5, then queen h8 mate, so better move is knight e4. And now black is using weak first rank, and by sacrificing this queen is intercepted. This rook is on e1 is intercepted, and okay, after white is not able to take this black queen on e4 because of rook c1 and mate after rook e1, but instead of this move, white will play of course queen g7, and after this check black is forced to come on e file with his king, and then we are taking this queen on e4 with check, and white is completely winning. Okay, this was all for today. This was lesson about liquidation of defense for an easy level, and I hope you enjoyed. For the best of chess, this was FIDE Master Bojan Jovanovic.